And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at a small game called Bottlecap Vikings, which is odd because in the box there's no bottle cap really, and there's not much Viking theme. That's okay though, right? It's just a small little game. I do like the artwork on the game, looks pretty cool. Tasty Minstrel has a record of cool little small games. So let's take a look here at Bottlecap Vikings and see if it's any good. You're going to build a rondel here. In the middle is a bottle cap. I guess it's a bottle cap. This is for 2 to 3 players. This is for 4 players. And on the outside, you're going to put these pieces randomly. Some of the pieces have different things on the different sides, but that doesn't matter. Each player is going to put a ship around the outside of the board at one of the spaces, and then each player is also going to get a player board. Each player is going to get a board of their color, and there's 2 sides of the boards. One side is identical to all the other sides, so you can play every everyone has the same side. The other side is going to be different. Each player is going to put their house at the bottom. They also keep track of their coins and their goods and their glory. And there's also a token for a ship in case you don't want to use the wooden one. So you're going to keep track of these depending on the number of players. Will depend on how many goods of each type you're going to start with. You might even start with one of these houses. Then the goal of the game is to be the first person to get to 10 glory, or to be the first person to develop all the way up to here. Now, as you notice, you can develop, but to develop on certain areas is going to cost, like to go from here to one of these 2 spots is 2 coins. Then to go up higher, you're going to need 4 coins and at least 1 Viking helmet. Your Viking helmets are on the side here, so once your glory reaches here, you have 1 Viking helmet, then 2, then 3, here at 6, although the Viking helmets are different places on the different boards. So you can see here you need 6 gold and 2 Viking helmets, and then 8 gold and 3 Viking helmets will win you the game. So there's 2 ways to win, by getting your tech tree all the way to the top, or by getting the 10 glory. Now as you get technology, you're going to get the special abilities that these give you. For example, here, whenever you take a damage, you draw an extra damage, and then you can get rid of one. Here, whenever you get a glory point, you can get rid of a damage. There's all different things here. You can move 2 of the segments on the rondel. And so you decide which techs that you'll have as you move your house up and down. Actual gameplay is pretty simple. On your turn, you simply take your ship and move 1 to 3 spaces clockwise. You then do whatever it says on the piece that you've gone to. So for example, this one here says spend 1 wood and get, or you can spend as much wood as you want, and then you're going to get that much plus 1 worth of gold. Here's the opposite one that lets you get gold for wood. Here's one that lets you increase your technology tree. So there's different ones here. You'll notice there's this Viking here. He's only in a 2 to 3 player game, but whenever you pass that line, you take a damage. Also, in a 2 or 3 player game or a 4 player game, whenever you land on another ship, you will all take damage. Now inside, you can put them all in the box. When you take damage, you pull one of these out without looking, and most of the damage is gray. But there's also some of the tokens that are red tokens. And when there's enough of these red tokens that have been drawn by all the players, 4 of them, then at that point, everyone counts how many damage tokens they have. And if you have 1, you're fine. But if you have more than 1, you're going to lose either gold or glory or a combination of the 2. So you got to be careful how many damage tokens you get, and as you're drawing them, keep an eye out to see how many red ones. Once everyone has taken their damage and stuff, they throw them back in. And that's it. You're just going to keep going around and around the rondel, stopping on all the different spots, using your special abilities if you have them, and trying to get 10 glory or be the first to develop your tech tree all the way to the top. There's a whole sheet here that tells you what all the different symbols mean. These are the main ones from the rondel. And then here's ones for the abilities you have on your city, that the ones for everyone the same, and if you use the different sided ones for a more asymmetrical game. So you can see as there's a whole lot of these special abilities. Well, before we get into the discussion of the game itself, I want to talk a little bit about the components and such. This game suffers from symbology problematics. I mean, all this stuff here, you're constantly looking at it going, okay, I think that means I lose a damage. I think that means I get a damage. And even worse, and this is really bad in my opinion, is the tech tree here. You actually cover up the tech that you're using. So you're constantly saying, what do I have, what do I have? And then you got to remember the ones you've already gone over. Now you can say, Vasel, you only need to remember 2 or so. That's true, but it's still remembering with all these special symbols and all these things, remembering these, especially remembering what one you're on top of. Everyone I played with was consistently having problems with that. It just was kind of an annoying thing. And also, the tracking of the resources was fine, but again, I was like, wait, which one did I move again? The rules themselves were fine, although there was like a little bit of fluff in them. Like, for example, it says at the beginning, take 2 goods of your choice. And I was like, okay, what are goods? Well, wood is a good, I think. What other goods are there? Is gold a good? I wasn't even sure that gold was a good. Because it's not in most games, but I guess in this game it is, because it's the only other thing besides wood. And so just there's this kind of a high level of remembering symbols, remembering this and that, and constantly looking at the rondelle and trying to figure out what everything means. And yes, probably after several games you'll get into that, but for the size of this game and for the amount of game that it gives, that level of symbology I think was just really too high for this game. Now, for the game itself, I think some people are going to like it, but that does not include me. I really found this boring. This reminded me of another little game that Tasty Minstrel put out, the Harbor game, where essentially you're like, ooh, I'm trading a wood to get some gold. I'm trading a gold to do this. I'm doing this to get a glory. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing this to get another glory. Oh, I got too much damage. I will lose a glory. And now I'm back down. And then we keep doing this, and finally, and it just felt like it's like, oh, I got a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Oh, finally someone wins. And it was not fun for me. The rondelle movement was okay. I mean, I'm not opposed to rondelles, but here it just wasn't that interesting. Landing on other people and you both taking damage, that became more annoying than anything else. Honestly, I'm going to take a good spot. Oh, someone's going to land on me. Ooh, someone else landed on me. I take some damage. Ooh, now I lose a glory. The whole damage mechanism was so not fun. It just this constant slap in your face all the time. It didn't feel like combat, or I guess when the Valkyries come in to take the dead back with them or whatever, and you lose glory. Although I thought Valkyries gave you glory. Like I said, the theme is non-existent here. I don't know. I wanted to like the game. I mean, when I read Bottlecap Vikings, I thought, ooh, no Bottlecap. I mean, maybe it's me, but I just don't know that this is a Bottlecap, an octagonal piece. But the artwork is cool, but the symbology being problematic, the game itself not being that interesting, the combat being frankly annoying. I mean, the only thing I really liked was the asymmetrical stuff, and then that comes back to the symbology again. So, I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to like this, but this is definitely not for me. Dice Tower Judgment, just did not like it.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!
There.